Day 7. Let's weld some stuff together. I'm gonna start on the roll bar. Basically, we're 7 days into a build. I mean, in all honesty, if I was to do it for straight 7 days, probably not would have gotten as far. But being able to stop, think about what we're gonna do next, or what I'm gonna do next, and then move on to it, has also helped the progress. So, 7 days. Not a lot to show for this hour. Just spent some time doing filler welds and things like that. So, yeah, you can see here where the panel was, where I had notched it out to go around there. So I took the piece that I had notched it out, put it on there. So we're sandwiching everything in between the sheet metal, and then same thing. I got a filler panel that needs to go right there. That'll weld to the floor, just like that is, and then welds to the panel, and it'll go up. So it's all just super rigid. And yeah, I'm happy with the roll bar. I don't know if I should move it more forward or back, but I really can't determine that yet till I got to put the seat back in, so it fell over. I'll put it in there, and I'll kind of put it in the right spot, and then that'll determine exactly the bar placement. And then I'll build some brackets here to hold everything together. Up front, didn't do much here. Oh man, my back is killing me. I threw it out. I cut the upper part of the firewall off. Now I got to come in here and trim across, like I said. Then I'll start building the firewall so we have plenty of room for our engine. And I like the spot where it's at, so I got a motor mount on this side, and I got to start building my brackets from the motor mount to the frame. That's next. Also not exciting stuff, but that's okay. It's the little things like this that builds the car. So I've gotten this question a few times about the back of the car, and I've had questions, why am I going to run a Watts link with a triangulated 4-link? Well, when I was running a leaf spring in my car, I had Hotchkiss leaf springs, I ran a Watts link in there, and I actually ran this one. This particular Watts link was what was in my car when my first gen Camaro. And then when I switched to a Ride Tech 4-link, I also ran the same Watts link. Not at first, but later on I did. So when I was building this car, decided to do a Watts link for the back of this car. So this is what I ran when it was a leaf spring car, and when it was a triangulated 4-link on my first gen, and on this second gen, since it's gonna be a really nice 4-link, and we've kind of gone all the way to the edge with it, I'm adding a Watts. Let's go get some metal for the firewall. And it's an old hot rodder's trick. Well, look at all these ready-made firewalls. What? That's right. We're gonna grab that one. Here we go. Awesome. Well, this is an old hot rodder's trick. And let's see if we can make a good firewall out of this one for this car. It'll be fun. Usually these little firewalls are really easy on an old roadsters or old buckets, but we're gonna do it on a muscle car. I don't know how many people have done it on a muscle car, so let's just picked it up over at, what is it? Ace Hardware. and then we're gonna head back to the shop. But on the way in, I'm gonna grab some breakfast before I get there. Okay. Okay, so we were talking about the old hot rodder trick, using a wheelbarrow. So I took the 4 bolts off the wheelbarrow. That's all it holds it together. Now you have a nicely rounded and formed part of your firewall for a recess. This was like 54 bucks. Literally, go to Ace Hardware. It's 54 bucks for the little steel one. The old hot rodder trick. You used to do this when you were putting your 350 in your old hot rod and you needed a little bit better firewall. Man, you just picked up one of these for a couple bucks and you cut it and fit it in there. And that's what I'm gonna do. So I'm gonna cut it along the bottom there because I don't need this kick out go in this direction. I'm just gonna use this upper section and we're gonna drop it right behind that motor and see how much work I gotta do to get that to fit so I can have a nice start to my recess in the firewall. Well, there you can see the back. There's the back of it. Gonna have a nice curve to it. Cleans it up. So I gotta trim the bottom now, move it back a little bit, and then start building my side filler panels. Let's go around to the front real quick and take a look at that. Well, there you go. So I just gotta build my closeout panels to match my curves, and we'll have the engine will be sunk back into the firewall. Then I gotta fit this. Now I gotta fit a transmission in there. So I'll lift this tunnel up like we talked about before, make our curve, weld those two together. Man, it's gonna be cool. All right. Well, now that you see what we're gonna use as part of the firewall for the car, which cool, it's a wheelbarrow. It's a wheelbarrow. Now I get to pull the motor back out, of course the wheelbarrow back out. And I got to put the motor and the transmission together and then put it in so I can cut the center transmission tunnel to fit both of them. And while I have the motor out, we'll do a little engine work. We'll talk about what we're doing on that. That's cool. And then we're gonna get the car up on some blocks and build it while it's up in the air a little bit because I have to get underneath and build a cross member for the transmission. We're gonna cut that center tunnel hump. So kind of some boring stuff, but it'll be stuff that feels good for me. Okay, let's get to it. Well, I'm gonna put the car up on wooden wheel cribs or wooden wheel stands. I'm not sure what you call them. And the reason I'm doing that is I need to get underneath the vehicle as well as on top for the next few project pieces where I fit the motor, get the angle right, put the transmission cross member in. You know, right now, this was great setup here. So what we'll do is we'll make wooden cribs. We'll get it up so it's sitting at the same angle, but about 7 or 8 inches higher so we can get it in and out underneath the car without having to jack it up and down every single time. Because right now, the majority of the build project stuff is gonna be top and bottom. So, okay. And I don't have any wooden stands. So we're gonna have to build them. All right, well, ran up the road. We got some 2x4s. Let's take them out, get them in the shop, and measure them up, start cutting stuff up. Well, that's it for this hour, another hour down. You saw me build the cribs. Chopped them up on my saw, screwed them together with some drywall screws. So, were they expensive? No. I bought 10 2x4s for 30 bucks at the local lumber yard, and a box of screws, drywall screws, for 6 bucks. I used 8 of the 2x4s, and I got 2 left, and this is what I built. So you got the cribs on the car. They got a nice height out of them. It's going to allow me to work at a decent height for myself right here, and still have access to the bottom, which is what I needed, because I'm at the point now where I'll start making the motor mounts. I got to get the angle of the motor correct. I got to cut the transmission tunnel, get the transmission in here, and then when I'm underneath the car, that'll allow me to build whatever brackets or extra pieces that I need for my transmission crossmember. Yeah, so right now my work is gonna be top and bottom, so this is perfect. All right, this is what I've done up on cribs, like I told you. So this is they're 17 long this way, 14 across that way, and you can see the 335 sits on them perfect. Same thing up front. 17 by 14. Well, yeah, I was wire brushing the floor, getting everything pretty clean, you know, as I'm tacking in, and then we got some old sound deadener here from previously, because it's a piece of floor from original, and it's hard to get off. But if you use the old heat wrench, you can warm it up just a little bit. Doesn't take much. Whew. That's about it. And then you can actually take your scraper and get in there and get it right off the floor. Yep. See that? Let's do a little bit more. That's awesome. Yeah, look at it. Comes right off. Oh yeah. Yeah, it's less likely to catch fire now too that I take this off. All right, that's what I'm doing. Nothing dramatic or fancy, just cleaning that junk up. One of the cool things I was gonna do is, see this front leaf spring pocket? There's a couple companies who make, you know, new leaf spring pockets for the front. Let me show you something here. And it's not like new. Man, it's tough to get the camera down here. Not new tech or anything like that. This leaf spring pocket is old school. Some of the companies out there, and here's a perfect example, is like this one. This is from UMI, and what they've done, they've made a steel pocket as opposed to this little stamped one, and they put 2 holes in it, multiple holes. And they do that so you can change your anti-squat angle of your leaf spring, or if you're doing a 4-link like I am, you can change your anti-squat of your 4-link. Really cool to see. You know, there's a couple companies who do this, and this is a really cool old school technique. This came from a guy named Herb Adams. You know, he was a GM engineer back in the 60s, and in the 70s he
went to the Pontiac program, worked on that, and then like I think it was like 1990 or something like that, he put out his first book, which was Herb Adams. Hold on. It was called Herb Adams Chassis Engineering. And he explains the basics of anti-squat in here, and he did a bunch of cool designs because he raced in the Trans Am car series. All right, now that I crawled out from underneath the car, you know, he did a lot of he did a lot of good engineering stuff, and you know, from the 70s when he was racing in the Trans Am series. And a perfect example is if you have a second gen or a first gen Camaro and you've got engine bay bars, that was an old Herb Adams mod, because he realized these cars were really flexy and they really substantially got stronger just by putting a little triangulated bar on the front. Same thing with his leaf spring pocket. And if you're running a cool leaf spring pocket like this from different companies, this is Herb Adams mod. This is something that he came up with back in the 70s in order to make Camaro's first gen, second gens. First gens had it too, but second gens became more popular. Helped him go quicker, you know. Herb Adams had a lot of really good stuff in his engineering books. I looked at a lot of his early papers, and you know, his book came out, you know, back in 1992, and companies are still building stuff off of what he designed, because those guys back then, Dick Goldstrand, Herb Adams, you know, they were racing the Trans Am series. They were boots to the ground, I guess you'd say. You know, so they were, if it didn't work, they had to fix it, and there was no way around it. You know, you win on Sunday and sell on Monday, and that's what they were doing. All right. Well,
1 minute, 37 seconds later.
It's official. This is the last day of our 7-day week. As you can see, it's dark outside, and we've accomplished a lot. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to break it down, and let's break it down monetarily, I guess. If you wanted to copy basically what I have done in parts we've used in the last 7 days, or roughly 56 hours, is what it's broken down to. All right, so I wrote down basically everything we've done or used in the last week on the car. And to replicate what I've done, so in 7 days, or in the videos you've seen, this is kind of what we've got. Oh man, if we want to look at so we did UMI upper arms, they're $649. We did the UMI lower arms, $789. We did a UMI sway bar, $259. We did Speed Tech chicane mounts. They're about $179, I think they were. Then Ride Tech triple adjustables for the car, for the front, $1,960. AGR steering box we did is $599. 4-link for the back of Ride Tech 4-link is $915. Ride Tech triples for the back, another $1,960. A wheelbarrow, we bought a wheelbarrow. Wheelbarrow was $54. The roll bar is $85. The steel, the 4x3 tubes of steel. I had one 7-foot piece that I had bought. It was not bad. It was $36. The inch sitting at a 3/4 round tube, inch 1.750, 6-foot piece. I got 2 of those in there. I think they were $25 a piece roughly, so we'll say it was $50. The wooden cribs you just saw me build, I got $33 plus $6 in screws, so we came to $40 for that. And we'll leave that one for last. 56 hours, which is 7 days, 8 hours times 7 days, right? So it's 56 hours. So on this first part that we've got here that we're looking at, parts wise, we're into it for, if you were to replicate what we've done, it's not even a roller yet, we're into it for $8,575. and all the basic parts we've got there. If we were going to add in the labor, you know, our shop is regularly $120 an hour, but we have a discount for full builds. You know, we knock it down to 85, so that would be 85 bucks an hour. So 85 times 56 hours, it's $4,700 in labor. If I was going to be doing this for somebody else, labor. So, you know, we're into it for week number 1, 7 days worth of work. All those parts, we're into it for 35. There you go. Real numbers, what we're doing. No extra jumping around. So that's week 1. So we're in it for $13K right now. Gonna be a great car. Week number 2, we got much more stuff to put in it. We got engine work that we're gonna do because we didn't count the engine in here. You know, we were just using one as a test fit, but the motor that's going in the car, and the parts that are going on it, plus the transmission that's going in it, more money, man. And we got more parts to build, more sheet metal to buy. Don't have any more wheelbarrows, but all right. Woo! Thank you for watching the first week. On to week number 2, and please click subscribe, share with your friends. The car is going to be a lot of fun. We're going to get it together. We're going to race it next season, and you know, maybe at the end of the year we'll sell it. It'll be one hell of a fast car. It'll be proven. We'll see.